Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Everything Spice. My name is Tanya. So what do you do when you have no time and you have to have supper on the table in a few hours? Crock pot, my friends, crock pot. So what I have for you here is a simple fast meal. I have a package of pork chops, frozen, one red onion, I call it purple onion, and a can of cream of mushroom soup. Let's put this all together, and in about, 5 hours, we should have supper ready. It's only 5 hours, right? All right, so I'm gonna put these in, and they're frozen, just so you know. So throw them in like that. You just have to throw them in. It's a no fuss, no muss kind of meal. I'm gonna wash my hands. Then I'm gonna use the simple ingredients that I have to make this really good. So I have here the cream of mushroom soup, and that goes in right now. You can use any brand. I also have some water here that I'm gonna, you don't need a whole lot, maybe half a cup to a cup of water, just so that you can have enough liquid so it doesn't burn. You don't need much water or liquid of any kind in a crock pot. All right, let me cut my onions, and I'm just gonna take this across. The spices, I'll show you next. And this is all gonna break up. Now, I'm gonna put it on low, and it can be like 6 to 8 hours in a crock pot. On low or 4 to 5 on high, depending on how much time you want to give to this. If you're working all day, then maybe it'll be low would be the better way. High, if you're just going out, running errands, come back, and you got supper. Totally up to you. Okay, so what I have here is some pepper. Put my spices. I have some pepper, baby. All right, pepper, some garlic powder. You can use fresh if you want, but I am just using my shake garlic. I'm not gonna use any salt, I don't think at first. I don't think I'm gonna use salt. I'm gonna use some parsley. And also this would be a good time to use maybe some dried cilantro if you wanted to, but I'm just gonna use this. Let's see what else. Oh, one more thing I think I want to try. And this is rosemary. Pork chops and rosemary go together. So that's it. So we got all of our ingredients in. And this, maybe some Lowry seasoned salt too. There's where the salt will come in. I'll use Lowry seasoned salt, or it's a seasoned salt, but not too much. I don't want it to be salty. All right, so we're gonna put this on low for about 6 to 8 hours while I work. And then when I come back, and put it on low. Then when I come back, I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do with it, because it's not just gonna be pork chops in a crock pot. What I have here, I'm gonna show you in advance. I made some peppered biscuits the other day. So this pork chops and these biscuits are gonna come together very happily. So join me on the other side when I show you my smothered pork chops and biscuits. Stay with me, friends. Hi everyone, welcome back. All right, what I'm gonna do is just chop up some cilantro for freshness. I just love cilantro in everything, my friends, except for maybe desserts. But if they came up with one, I'd be using it. All right, there's a few things here that's done that I'm gonna add to this dish. Now this crock pot's been going for like maybe 5 hours and it's looking pretty good. I can say that right now. Let's show you. Come into the pot. Look at that. And that is looking quite fabulous. It's already starting to break down. We're gonna make it better. We're gonna make it better. All right, how we're gonna do it is we're gonna add our cilantro. And this is kind of the finishing touch, but it's going into the oven. I'm preheating the oven 350, probably for a half hour, 45 minutes, maybe not 45, depends on your oven. But what I'm doing is gonna put some Dijon in here, because mustard and pork chops just go together. Now, it's a method, so I'm gauging it. I'm just using what I think would work good, but you never know. If you don't like it, don't use it. I'm gonna use sour cream too. And I'm gonna use a couple of tablespoons or teaspoons of, I'll do tablespoons maybe 2 or 3. And that's gonna make it almost like a stroganoff. It's going to make the gravy really, really rich. Thicken this up and make the gravy really rich. Because what do we have in here, right? We have the cream of mushroom, a little bit of water. You could use chicken stock or beef stock or whatever, but I didn't use that. I used water and cream of mushroom, the pork chops, and some garlic powder and pepper. That is my spice. And I think I did some rosemary as well for all the spices, and some Lowry seasoned salt, if I can recall all of these ingredients, right? All right, so what we're gonna do here, we're done with that. And it really does make it quite fabulous and rich. And then we're gonna take it from the pot and we're gonna transfer it, hello, to a 13 by 9 inch greased pan. Always using my handy dandy spray, cooking spray. So what I can do, show you, you can either shred it or cut it. I might just cut it. Just so I have like this not so whole pork chops. Okay, I'm gonna cut up or just break up. You can just break them up. Look at this. It's so, look at it's doing. It's been in the crock pot, and that's what's the great thing about it. The moisture, it just breaks them up. Look at this, it just tears them up. So you can just do it like semi-chopped like that. Look at that, it just falls apart. There's no bone. And look at it, it's just shredding it. So shred it just a bit so it fits the 13 by 9 inch. You don't have to have it completely shredded, but you want to have it semi so it's not so chunky. Okay, cut one more I fished out, and I'm breaking it up. And they do this like pulled pork. We're doing it with pork chops. Just break it up like that. Shred it a little bit, leaving it somewhat whole. Oh, look at that. It's been cooking so long that it just breaks apart. It's just amazing. Amazing, baby. Okay, I'm gonna like that. Now, what you can do with the toppings of it, I'm using biscuits that I had, but you can use whatever you want. You can use, I've done before with this. Look how beautiful. What have I used before? Tater tots. Made a tater tot casserole. I'm using biscuits, so it's like smothered, almost like a southern type of meal. Shut this out. Looking good, looking good, looking good. But we're gonna make it better. As we often do, we elevate the game. I'm gonna put some cheese in this. I'm using a Mexican cheese. You can use whatever cheese you want, friends. You can even shred it yourself, but I'm using this Mexican cheese blend. Because cheese makes it better, baby. Now that's not necessarily traditional for smothered, but hey, I'm not traditional, baby. I go by my own rules when it comes to cooking. I really do. Now bacon is more of a science. With this, we're doing it my way. Now it's a method. If you don't like cheese in that your pork chops, you have an aversion to that, then by all means, don't use it. Now here we go. I'm gonna put these. I had some of these biscuits that I made the other day. So I'm just gonna add them to the pan. Here, there, and everywhere. And they're gonna sop up all those juices and become nice and delicious. Now, if you don't have a whole lot of biscuits, don't even worry about it, kids. It's not even a big deal. Not a big deal at all. Do 2, 3, 2, and guess what? I also have, which I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try it. I don't know if it's gonna work. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna break up some. I just so happen to have these old croissants. Look at that. I just so happen to have them, and I'm gonna break them up, and I'm gonna put them in. Talk about not traditional. And they're very like, at this point, make them like croissants, like croutons. There you go. You can add whatever you want to it. I'm gonna add a little bit of this, croissants. Whatever you have, you know, if you don't have enough biscuits, I want to have it like really like that bread topping. But you don't have to do it my way. You can do it a different way if you want to. Say you have tater tots, but I'm doing biscuits and croissants and making this really unique. Unique. Why waste when you can repurpose? And that's the whole point of this, is to repurpose what you got. And who doesn't want croissants any way you can get them? They are just like French and fabulous. And it's gonna make it like I don't know, like croutons. I keep saying croutons. What am I saying? It's gonna make it like croutons. And that's all I'm doing, friends. Just fitting it into the pan, and all of those juices are gonna get sopped up. It's gonna make a nice little topping for you. All right, so into the oven at 350 degrees for about, I would say, half hour to an hour. Keep checking it just to make sure, because ovens can vary. Now what I might do too is let this cook down and seep in, and then add a little bit of cheese on the top, make it look so pretty, and cover up any kind of discrepancies. Say your friends are coming over and you don't want them to know that there's all different types of breads in here. They don't gotta know, baby. All you have to do, right? Push this down so it's all sopping in the juices. All you have to do is cover it with cheese, and it covers up a multitude of sins. So look at how beauty is. Yeah. Into the oven, 350 degrees. We're gonna cover it. Then I'm gonna uncover it and add my cheese to bubble on top. Join me on the other side. Okay, welcome back. This is the big reveal. Yum, look at it. I added some cheese. Not only did I add the Mexican cheese, but some parsley on the top, as well as some paprika for color. And it's melted delightfulness. This is my version of smothered pork chop casserole. It took about a half hour to 45 minutes to cook altogether. Wrapped it up for a half hour, took it off, put the cheese on top. I added some grated cheddar as well as the Mexican cheese that I had. And this is it. Let it sit for a little bit, so that way it's easier to cut, so it's not so liquidy or, you know, difficult to cut. And you have something great to serve to your family. And if you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, and join me next time for Everything Spice. Be safe, everyone. Have a great Saturday.